Hi guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video lesson, we're going to be looking at grade 10 maths algebra, solving quadratic equations by factorization. So if you look at the work schedule, and this is just a little cutout of our work schedule, algebra part 3, equations and inequalities. We are looking at point number 2, solve quadratic equations by factorization. Now, let's look at a question that appeared in a past examination paper, the DBE, Department of Basic Education, November 2019, paper 1. So we have the following question: 2x squared minus 10x equals to 0. Now the thing about a quadratic equation is that we have to write the quadratic equation in the standard form. So ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Basically make one side equals to 0. Remember that we can solve a quadratic equation by factorization, which means you got to know all your different types of factorization. For example, how to remove highest common factor, difference of two squares, and a trinomial. Okay, so in this particular example, as you can see, we can remove a common factor here of 2x. So you can say 2x into x minus 5 equals to 0. Now, if you look at that, 2x times x is 2x squared, 2x times minus 5 is minus 10x. So you check your factorization by products. Now you apply the zero factor law, which means you take each factor, 2x is one factor, and equate it to 0. Then you take your other factor, so you'll say, or x minus 5 equals to 0. So here x would equals to 0, or x equals to 5. Which means that if you substitute x equals to 0 here, the left-hand side will equal to the right-hand side. Both will equal to 0. Because remember, 0 times anything is 0. If you substitute 5 into your equation here, you'll get 5 minus 5 is 0, and 0 times anything is 0. So therefore, applying the zero factor law is very, very important here. Okay, so we must know all types of factorization. Let's look at the next example. This one here appeared in the DBE November 2018 paper 1. It reads as follows: solve for x. 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals to 0. So this is a trinomial which is already in the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So therefore now we just have to factorize this trinomial. Now, how do we factorize this trinomial? Let's see. Well, factorizing by inspection. If you look at this method here, if I take this first term, or the coefficient of the first term, and multiply it by my last term, 2 times positive 2, I'll get positive 4. So what I'm looking for are the factors of 4. When I multiply together now, right, it's going to give me plus 4. But when I add them, it's going to give me minus 5. So that will be minus 1 times minus 4. Guys, remember that the factors of 4 is 1, 2, or I should say R1, 2, and 4. Remember that 4 is a perfect square, so 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So let's get back to the question now. So I took the coefficient of the first term and I'm multiplying my constant. 2 times 2 is plus 4. Looking for the factors of plus 4, or factors of 4 when I multiply together to give me positive 4. And when I add to give me negative 5. So therefore, I've got minus 1 and minus 4, which meets the criteria that I just explained to you. So you take your first term without the squared now. So you're going to put 2x there and 2x there, right? 2x minus 1. Now you're going to check if you can simplify any further. So 2 goes into 2 one time, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. So there you go. Your factors will be 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. And here your factor will be x minus 2. X minus 2 equals to 0. Now also you can check your factorization by products. 2x times x is 2x squared. Minus 1 times minus 2 is positive 2. Inner terms, minus 1 times x is minus x. And 2 times minus 2 is minus 4x. 2x times minus 2 is minus 4x. If I add the both up there, I'll get minus 5x. So there you go. Always check your factorization by products. Now apply the zero factor rule, which is 2x minus 1 equals to 0, or x minus 2 equals to 0. 2x equals to 1, therefore x equals to half, and here x will equals to 2. And that is your solution. Let's look at one more, right? DBE 2017 paper 1. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Once again, solve for x. Now this one has a fraction here, right? 6 is the denominator there. So remember now, when you have a fraction, what you're going to do is you need an LCM or an LCD. LCM, lowest common multiple, or a lowest common denominator. See if you put that over 1. You check all your denominators out there, 6 and 1. The LCM there is 6. Once you've now identified that, multiply everything by 6. So I'm going to multiply across by 6. So if I multiply that, 6 times 6 over 1 times that, 6 and 6 cancel. I'm left with x into x minus 5. Then if I multiply minus 1 times 6, I'm going to get minus 6 equals to 0. What do you notice? By multiplying across by your LCD or LCM, you got rid of the denominators. Therefore, now we can just open the brackets, write in the standard form, and solve for x. So here we're going to get x times x is x squared. X times minus 5 is minus 5x minus 6 equals to 0. Right? X times x is x squared. X times minus 5 is minus 5x. Minus 6 equals to 0. Now here we can just factorize by inspection because this is classified to be an easy example, right? But let's see now what we're going to do. X squared. So we'll say x times x is x squared, right? So that one is sorted out. Now we need to look for the factors of 6. When we multiply together to give us minus 6, when we add, you're going to give us minus 5. So let's write down all our factors of 6. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Which two factors we're going to use here? Let's see, right? Let's see if I use 1 and 6. So that now will be, let's see, if I use positive 1, if I use minus 6, that will work, isn't that so? Right? If I say x plus 1, x minus 6. Now why, right, is this going to be correct? Let's check it out. If I multiply positive 1 times minus 6, I'll get minus 6. Where's it here? If I add positive 1 to minus 6, I'll get minus 5. And remember, x times x is x squared. So therefore, my factors will be x plus 1 and x minus 6. You can check it one more time. X times x, x squared. Positive 1 times minus 6 is minus 6. Inner terms is plus x. And the outer terms, if I multiply, will be minus 6x. And if I add the 2 up, I'll get minus 5x there. Right? Always check. Have the habit of checking your work before you move on. Now apply the 0 factor rule. So x plus 1 equals to 0. Or x minus 6 equals to 0. X equals to minus 1. And x equals to 6. Notice that's how you solve quadratic equations. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe to JL Maths, like my Facebook page, Justin Lazarus Mathematics. You can watch all videos for free in order of the work schedule on my website, jlmaths.com. And I'll catch you in the next video.